Hello, everyone, and welcome to Talk About It. My name is Alicia. My pronouns are she, her, and I am an empowerment coach and ancestral healer. I teach specifically on accountability and spiritual healing to help people ascend to happiness. So, today we are going to be talking about something near and dear to my heart, even though everything is near and dear to my heart and super important. We're going to be talking about manifesting, more specifically, the magic of manifesting. It is one of my literally favorite things to do. And I'm just going to throw in literally wherever I want to. So, today we're going to talk about what exactly it is, why it works, how you can use it, and when best to use it. So let's start with the first one. What is manifesting exactly? So it goes back many centuries ago about the law of attraction. What is the law of attraction? Essentially, it's positive thinking. And science is now coming around to this idea that the more we bring a positive mindset to our life, the more we can bring in all of the things that we want and desire into our lives, and we can see them come to fruition, right? It's one of the coolest concepts that I gravitate towards because it's so true. And in many coaching type atmospheres or in books, you kind of hear people talk about it, but maybe they might call it the power of the mind or the power of positive thinking, like all of these things, stay positive, yada, yada, yada. So basically, what someone is telling you is to try manifesting what you want to desire. So instead of sitting in what you might be feeling in that moment, maybe it's depression or anxiety or stress, can you manifest the joy and love that you want? So it's literally changing your mindset in order to allow everything good to gravitate towards you. And you can be specific about what manifests in your life and what you're calling in. So essentially, it's a mindset shift. So whether or not you're spiritual or not spiritual, if you believe in divine alignment or not, at the end of the day, we all practice it on some level, but we're just using different verbiage to describe it. And the best thing about manifesting things into your life or manifestations is that it usually always works because you're more likely to go after something you want when you believe you can, or when you believe it's already coming to you, because you naturally create a motivation or believe that it's not unattainable anymore. So not only are you likely creating better actions and better decision-making processes for yourself to manifest what you want, you are literally speaking out into the universe and into existence what you want. And it's kind of mind-blowing to me how this works, because the belief is that when you put it out there, the universe will reward you. And just think about it. This is why so many people say, the minute I let go is the minute that everything changed. So what does that mean? It means they manifested it. Like, how cool is that? And I know that there is some contradicting beliefs out there that, like, yeah, I can't just manifest it. Be really mindful about how you use manifesting, right? Because manifesting doesn't mean that you are passive from here on out, right? Like, a lot of people who manifest are usually people who are goal-oriented people who are hardworking. They're goal setters. So manifesting comes naturally to them because they're setting a clear path in front of themselves to attain something. They already know it's a goal. They know what to work towards. They know it's there. It's already there. It's like they've decided on this decision for themselves, right? It's set in stone. So saying you're going to manifest something and then doing nothing after that it doesn't really make sense. So let me kind of give an example. So, what are some of the things that I've manifested in my own life, and my partner and I practice quite frequently? And this goes really far back. And I was trying to see like what sort of things I had in my lovely thousands of photo archive from when I was really young up until now. So I really started tapping into my manifesting, my magic of witchery, like all of the things, when I learned the breadth of how powerful my mind was when I became aligned with my spirituality, in all honesty, because I feel like we separate spirituality from many things that we do, but spirituality is very different. Like, it looks different for everybody. It doesn't always show up the same. It doesn't mean that I'm necessarily religious. It just means that I practice spirituality, meaning in my sense that I communicate with my ancestors, or I allow energy to flow within me. I believe in energy, and I believe in the law of attraction. I believe in all of these things. So once I learned what my potential was, I decided to try it. And it was the coolest thing I had ever done. And I remember doing it for the first time with a group of people at like a witches circle, which was awesome. No pun intended. And what we did was, to begin, we journaled about our life. Like, we really practiced some deep, deep self-awareness and finding clarity on what we wanted to call in. So we were specific, very specific. What did we want the future to look like? How would I feel? Maybe even what would I be wearing? What would my finances be like? What would, all of these things, like, maybe would I be in a relationship? Maybe not. Would I be in a different country? Would I live in a, whatever it was, we were manifesting for the whole year. So we were essentially planning what we wanted to call in for that year, or what we wanted to achieve. So on my board, and I distinctly remember, it was speaking up for myself and having financial stability, which looked like making this much money. It meant having this car in this color, like all of these things that I needed because of the situation that I was in then. And even down to getting a specific husky, or a husky in general, which, hello, I have Paulo. All right. It was about being really specific. And at the end of it, you channeled in all of the energy that you had and made everything that you put together that you were calling in truth. Like, you made it your reality. Like, there was no deviation from the plan. Like, we didn't talk about what happens if we manifest incorrectly. Like, it was like, what are we manifesting? What are we calling in by the end of the year? We can't wait, right? Like, that was our only truth. Like, that is what was going on, because we didn't waste our time thinking about the what ifs. So we were essentially thinking positively. We were thinking positively about our futures. We had changed our mindset because we weren't focused on, how am I going to pay this bill, or how am I going to do this, or we couldn't change those things. Like, what we could change is how we saw the world around us and what we wanted from the world around us, like what we wanted to see, what change we wanted to feel, the happiness and love we wanted to feel, the stability, the safety. We were changing our mindset. And that's what manifesting truly means. So, other things that I manifested more recently, some of you know us, so you may already know, like, Ashley and I were literally talking about everything we wanted to call in. Like one day we were sitting in our car charging it, and we have a Tesla, so we're driving, and or not driving, we're parked and we're drawing on the little whiteboard. And we were like, yeah, we're gonna want this. And then, we put in parentheses like working, like well, and all of these things. But we listed out like we want this much space, we want a treadmill for the dog so they can run, we need AC, and we need like all of these things, because we also believe in the magic of the universe and the magic and the energy that comes from new moons and aligning with astrology, because it's so ancient and old. So it feels even weird to not do it. Like it's such a powerful thing that we're not taught about, but is so grounding for finding alignment. So we practice this often. Like we have whiteboards everywhere. This is what we're calling in, this is what we're doing. And then we may like pull tarot and be like, what else am I missing? Is there anything I need to know? And they're like, yeah, like, should you really be calling that in when I done told you to work on something else? Right? Like tarot is so cool for that reason. I want to do a whole nother episode on tarot because some of the messages you get are wild, but I've also used tarot for manifesting. But we manifest all the time. And it's been so wild because we feel like the more we do it, the more it happens. And the happier we feel every day because we've let go of the pressure of having to perform or worrying about finances or worrying about all of these things and trying to grasp onto our life and grab control of it. Right? Like we're still dreaming, we're still manifesting, we're still thinking of possibilities of what the world could be, what our life could be like. Like this isn't the end. We're going to keep evolving and we're going to keep changing. So you start to attract that to yourself. You even attract people who think the same way as you, and you can manifest together like I did in these witchy manifesting amazing powerful circles under the new moon, and then you can howl at it, right? Like all of these really cool fun things. And we learned our lesson on this last one when we asked for a treadmill. So caveat to manifesting, make sure you are being super specific. We found an amazing treadmill for the dogs, used it for a little bit, turned out it was broken. I dang near almost fell off. Like it stopped out of the blue and the track was super wrinkled. It was just like not a good situation. But because we've manifested so many things and have changed our mindset in such a way where we don't beat down on ourselves for something, right? Like maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I would have been like, oh, that was really shitty. Like, I can't believe I like got this really crappy trip. Like all of these things would have been coming out of my mouth. But because I had done all of this mindset shifting and positive thinking, we stood there in the moment laughing because I had almost fallen off the treadmill because we weren't specific, right? And there's this thing that, spiritual people always say when we talk about manifesting, like you better be specific, or, the phrase like, careful what you wish for, right? Like being super specific. Or even when I remember calling in the support from my ancestors and really tapping into my spirituality. And then I had accidentally called on all of the ancestors and attached them to my sacral center. And a Reiki healer actually pointed out that I had the longest ancestry line attached to me because I was not specific about my request. I said all of them. So there's these really funny moments, like when you go to try and manifest, which is great because you can have a lot of fun with it. Like it doesn't have to be so serious. It's almost like you can tap into being your child self again, like your inner child, because when we were younger, like we didn't think about what am I going to plan financially for, you know, like all of these things when we were younger. It was like, what could I ask for that's going to make my life fantabulous, right? Like, I want a scooter in this color and I want to feel like this. And I imagine if I have roller skates, I will be a free child, right? Like all of these really fun dreams. And then, yeah, maybe sometimes we were upset when we didn't get it, but most of the time, kids are happy go lucky and they don't always hold on to those things. We teach kids to hold on to those things, and then they do because they thought that they were supposed to. But it's just a really beautiful and powerful practice for anyone to have in their life, again, even if you're not spiritual, because it all comes down to changing your mindset and how open you are to receiving the gifts that are already in front of you, like already in front of you, right? And so even though, you know, our treadmill doesn't work, we're now learning something new because we're going to take it apart. Right? And we're being creative about how we're going to exercise our dogs, because everybody knows us. We take care of our dogs very, very well, mentally, physically, like all the things. So I just have such a big like heart and feel gratitude for learning this practice because it's so true. And I can't wait for all of the scientific findings because they're really starting to align with all of these spiritual practices and attraction and energy and flows. Like all of these things do exist. So, how do we navigate them in a way that supports us and really heals us rather than viewing it as something that's going to hurt us or bizarre, and just accepting it and just, you know, having fun with it? Because I also feel like sometimes people are hesitant to tell people that they believe in manifesting things, or that they believe that, you know, this Cancer new moon made them feel all up in their feels, right? Or like all of this stuff, or why you can't sleep on a new moon, like all of these things, unless you surround yourself with people who talk about it all the time. Some people do feel really intimidated, but why? Right? And that's the great thing about manifesting. Like you can appreciate it for whatever it means to you. There's no wrong way of doing it. You just try it. So I challenge you all to start manifesting every single day, because you will see some of the most wildest things happen that are just so beautiful and so, 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 so cool. And even just noticing in yourself when your mindset changes, like even if it goes like really small in the morning, you know, like maybe you're journaling and you're like, today I'm going to call in whatever, right? And see how it goes. And then on the next new moon, you're going to be really specific about what you're calling in this next month that'll come to fruition on the full moon, right? Because new moons are great for manifesting, and full moons are kind of when they happen. Also, good times to release things. So just play with it and have fun. Like even if you're completely new to it, really, it's positive thinking and attracting. So what harm is that going to do to you, unless you take it too far and you really think that you can manifest a cup of water in front of you? I mean, maybe you can, I don't really know. But be mindful about how you practice. And that's another point, like practicing manifestation can really help you become intentional and thoughtful about how you do things, which is great even for yourself, or, you know, dealing with other people. because that thoughtfulness and the intentionality will show up in so many other ways, like how you talk to people, how you think about them, how you view the world. Instead of just reacting, you're intentional and you're pausing. Like with the treadmill, we didn't just react, we thought about it, we reflected, because that's what we're used to from practicing manifesting. So I invite you to practice it on your own. You can even practice it with tarot. Tarot is super cool. Practice reading astrology books to see when the best time is. There's always portals going on where you can heighten your manifesting powers. Like just tap in and see how it goes, because sometimes you just fucking wake up, right? When you start tapping into this really cool power. So who wouldn't want to do that, right? I don't know, just do it. And if you want some support, come find me. I know plenty of people, or we can try it out together. I don't know. But let me know how you like it. Tell me what you're manifesting. I just did my manifesting for this past new moon in Cancer. And I am really excited to see how everything pans out, because everything that I have asked for in the last couple of years has come right to me tenfold. So take it from me. It works. Be patient, keep trying, and have fun. So that is a wrap on accountability and manifesting, or the magic of manifestations. And this is, I'm going to talk about it. If you want more coaching or want more free resources like this, come join my Facebook group. It's amazing. I'm posting stuff all the time. And I just launched my Ascend to Happiness group program, which is going to be kicking off in August. So if you are interested, apply. I'll put the application in the description, but just wanted to let you know, because we are changing the world, y'all. We are breaking cycles. We're going to manifest. We're going to practice our witchiness. We're going to show up tenfold, create abundance, and do all the damn things. So this is a wrap for another episode of I'ma Talk About It. Thank you so much for showing up today and showing up for yourself, showing up for me, changing the world. And I hope you all have a beautiful, beautiful day.